go ahead and explain to you the track. First, you have a long straightaway. To the driver's left, there's the initiation cone, 3-2-1 cone. You have to be initiated at the latest, the 1 cone. Then towards the left, there's the long outside zone 1. You got to make sure you have full angle and stay on the edge of the track. Don't go over the edge of the rumble strip. Right after that, right where the Yokohama tire bridge is, in that area, there's a touch and go to the driver's right. Then after that, on the left side, there's another outside zone. And going through this little area, like a shortcut going in between the tracks. I don't know if you can see it right now, right there. Maybe if you're looking at it over there, past the Yokohama sign, you have to go towards the right. There's going to be the outside zone 3 where the wall is. And, you know, some of the cars got eaten up by the wall, so you got to be by there. After that, you're going to do a transition. And there's a inside clip right before the finish line, too.
But a huge hands down for y'all around the world that are staying up late with us or waking up bright and early for us. So,
yeah, let us know where you're from.
Yeah, I know I forgot to shout out to the FDJ too whenever we were watching that, but we kind of got caught up in other things. So yeah, give us a shout out from where you're at. But here you go right here. Our next run is going to be number 17, Jin Horino and his team Good Ride Tops Racing with Project Mu S15. Here he is. Nobody knew.
Ooh.
Nobody new to the podium. He wants to be back up there, and here he is trying to perform and get back up there, flicking it back around to outer zone 3. Here he is coming to outer zone 3. Could be a little deeper against that wall. But how is he going to finish off into inside clip? And beautiful job hugging the inside clip right there.
All right, so I got to check something real quick at his initiation. It's not an in clip right now or right after the initiation, but going out to the outside zone 1, it looks like he had to cut in a lot right there. There you go. So it looked like he lost a little bit of angle when he was making the initiation, but at the same time, he does a good job on filling the zones and tries to keep the car sideways and more throttle, as much throttle as possible.
And there he is finishing off real strong at the end. Let's see what the score is going to be. But yeah, I see all out there. We got like Philippines, Australia, we got New York. There you go, 87. Who else? And I know he understands me, so if he listens back, he knows.
Yeah,
so here we are right now, moving on with number 17, Jin Horino in the Good Ride Team Tops Racing, Project Mu S15. Got an 87 on his initial score. He's going to come out with a lot of flair and a lot of passion, and maybe it's too much right here. In that initiation, definitely messed up and made him shallow, but he's trying to carry it the rest of the way through and give a show for the crowd that's out here and online. And here he is, trying to finish strong in the inside clip, hugging it tight, but definitely gave a little bit too much in that outer zone 1.
Yeah, he did, and like I said, you know, he set himself up not doing what he's supposed to, maybe on outside zone 1. He's supposed to be, you know, coming off the outside zone 1 wider and also making a bigger flick for the transition, going to the touch and go, but he wasn't able to do that.
There you go, 81. So he got an 87. That's going to carry him on for the top 32 scores.
All right, now my excitement level. Now I know how I was supposed to feel. Now I'm expecting that for the next 10, 12 drivers that we have left.
Exactly. And next up is going to be number 33, Junya Ishikawa in his Hiroshima Hiroshima Toyota Team Droopy ZN686. Also powered by a 1GR, just like his partner of Team Droopy. Got an 81 on his initial score. We'll see what he's going to do for us here on his second run, because 81 is not quite the safe zone that we're 100% guaranteeing. So here he is coming into outer zone 1. Right there on that fine edge. Could have been a little deeper, but not bad. But look at this transition. Boom! Coming back around. Carrying it all the way to outer zone 3 right there. And there he is finishing off really strong with that inside clip. But that outer zone 2, I think, is the only hiccup that he had. Wasn't quite able to drag it all the way out to that zone.
Yeah, but I like the way he did the transition. I'm just talking about, you know, style judge. point of view, but right here, average initiation, nothing super exciting, and I wouldn't say that he does fill the zone fairly well. But right here, I like the way he did that, and I like the way he did that. So
definitely these last few cars have been picking it up. It's nice. The sun is in our face, but it's actually settling down. It's not blazing hot out. So, you know, this is a lot of pluses in our favor.
Yeah, but I would have to say the line score isn't going to be as high, but it might average out because his style score was.
He might be able to bump up from an 81.
I think he's going to probably bump up from. Oh, there you go. Yeah,
90 right there. Like you said,
look at
his
the
line
angle is 29, so he was throwing angle all over the place.
Yeah. Coming up to the line right now is going to be Manabu Fujinaka in his TCP Magic Good Ride RX-7 FD, and like we were talking about during the FDJ2 round, his son is actually competing there in an S14. So let's see if he can show out for him and get a nice qualifying run put in. Here he is coming up to the 3-2-1. Coming in outer zone run right here. Let's hear this 3-rotor scream while it passes us right here. Little shallow into outer zone 3. And having a nice transition into that inside clip.
Yeah, very fluid, but very similar to some of the other cars that we've seen drive already through this track. But then the transition area as well, it looks very safe.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look too snappy, and his initiation wasn't too snappy and didn't go right all the way out to, you know, a high rate of angle from the get-go either. So
seen a lot of safe runs, but like we were saying, we want to see that nice 90s plus run. There you go, 86. Good call on some of y'all out there. 86, mid-80s. So moving along. There you go, a 90 for him. And like you said, that huge angle that he threw from that touch and go to outer zone 2 and carrying it through outer zone 3. But here we go. Next up is going to be Manabu Fujinaka in his 3-rotor FD RX-7. Got an 86 on his initial qualifying run. Here he is. Woo! Nice job right there in outer zone 1. Look at this. Right there. Coming back around. There you go. Listen to that 3-rotor scream.
So that was a transition, and he was 2 tires off going through there. But I wish he didn't do that because I wanted to see what the score would have been, because that was a pretty...
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, especially down right in front of us with that touch and go.
Up until outside zone 3, this was a pretty good run. Right there, nice amount of angle right there. Flicking it back, making it through outside zone 2, then right there, just right there. Man.
Not able to carry it all the way. If he would have carried all the way, he would have cleared perfect right there and finished strong. So we'll see what score he's going to get. He had an 86 on his initial run. See if that was enough to kind of give him a little bit more points to give him cushion for the top 32 spot. Right there in front of us. There you go, 89. So yeah, right there in front of us, that's the spotter section.
Throughout the track and stuff like that. But, I mean, definitely if he didn't do that, the score would have bumped out so much more higher, because that was a very nice approach. The way Fujinaka hung it out on outside zone 1 and did a nice transition at the touch and go.
All right, next up, looks like you got the green to go, is Yoshichika Tamagawa in his JZA80 Supra. Scored an 83 on his initial qualifying run. It was very safe, but let's see how much safer or extreme he's going to be. And look at that right there. Woo! All the way to the end of outer zone. Look at this. carrying it through. Coming into outer zone 3.
Smooth and exciting right here.
Real smooth right here, and look at that, hugging that inside clip. Good job, nice hard flick in front of us. So we'll see here what the, look at this right here, coming into outer zone 1. Look at that, filling all of outer zone 1.
Oh man, this is gonna be, look at that.
Boom.
I like that. I really like that.
But still able to carry it all the way around and then still hug inside.
Yeah, that was a super clean run.
93. Good guess by y'all out there.
Yeah, and little bits of all over the world.
For small stints of time.
Yeah, like sometimes a month, 2 months, a couple days.
But here we are at the line. It's going to be number 56, Naoto Suenaga in the Team Kazuma with Power Vehicles S15. Let's see his car perform. I know he had issues at Okuibuki with his turbo and actually caught fire on one of his runs. So let's see how this car is going to perform for him this weekend. Here he is coming into outer zone 1. Beautiful job in the outer zone right there. Let's see this transition through the touch and go to outer zone 2. And how committed is he to this wall? And he's showing it right now. Finishing off right here strong in the inside clip. Not a bad job by Suenaga. So let's see this replay.
All right, so very fluid, and there was a lot of commitment. I like how he flicked it out like that on the initiation. But once again, after the outside zone 1, the way he carries the car through here where the touch and go is and outside zone 2 is and outside zone 3 is, I would have to say, I mean, overall, it looks kind of shallow. And it doesn't seem like, it just looks like they're just trying to go faster and faster, you know, I mean.
Maybe they want to like another transition point in there.
Yeah.
But here it is. This is the qualifying runs. We haven't quite hit our first round. We still have another round of qualifying to go. We have 45 drivers today. And this course is pretty nice and pretty big. And like you were saying, there you go, 88 for his run. But hey, there's a lot more drivers ahead. So I can't even be too, Tamagawa, congratulations, but still, you have to watch and be in suspense the rest of the time because you have some solid drivers coming up, just like this one right here. Naoto Suenaga in the Team Kazuma with Power Vehicles S15. Podium, he's landed podium, did some insane stuff. Car's fixed, car's ready to go, got an 88, so that means he's ready to fire up and get in the 90s this run. Look at that right there, right on that edge the whole time. Let's see this flick, coming back around, kicking it back, and carrying it all the way through outside to that wall right there. Look at that. But had a little hesitation there, leaving and then hugging the inside clip.
Yeah, so check out the way he doesn't commit to the transition and also approaching the outside zone 3 wall too. He kind of plays it safe. Right here.
Yeah, it wasn't too crazy angle coming in right there.
No. He approached the outside zone 3 fairly safely, in my opinion.
And then halfway through, it looks like he had a little hesitation through it. So yeah, definitely fluidity was kind of affected in that whole run. He hit, he was kind of in the zones, but the rectangle and then the fluidity of everything wasn't quite there. But he got an 88 on his qualifying run. I'm feeling like he's hovering around that same region for the score. But we'll see. And just like y'all are saying, he's like in the upper 80s. Wow, we have some low 90 scores too. There you go, 89. So 1 point higher, 89 is a solid score still. And pretty safe to say that'll carry you on to the top 32. More dynamic to it.
That's what makes it harder because everybody wants to carry a lot of speed through it. Then they start to forget how...
There's no points for speed.
Exactly. There's no, I mean, there's no speeding gun. We have nothing to see how fast you're going. Exactly. It's just visual, you know? So we'd want to see the car be more sideways than trying to blast through.
So let's see how sideways Kazuki Hayashi is going to do. Number 61 in his S15 here. Coming around outer zone 1.
There you go.
Not bad. There you go. Here he is. Let's see this transition. So touch and go, coming around to outer zone 3. Is he going to hold on? And he is holding on all the way through outer zone 3. Definitely put us on our edges right there.
Yeah. There was a lot of commitment, but at the same time, the way he approached outside zone 3, that's pretty much almost like a washing out, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
But way to save that, because that wall was coming in hot. So let's see here. We're getting a low 90 score, somebody's saying. So let's see.
Ooh.
So here we go, 88 right there. So yeah, so high 80 score right there for Hayashi. So here we are. So we're down to 7 more drivers. Next up is going to be number 61, Kazuki Hayashi in his S15. In his Good Ride S15. Here he is coming out of the chicane. Approaching the 321. Right on the edge of the 321 there, coming around to outer zone 1. There he is, right on that rumble strip, coming around. See if he can carry this transition all the way through. Woo! Going deep into early into outer zone 3 right there, and then hugging inside clip 1.
Yeah, we're kind of going back to not much of a flare. I mean, that was a very clean run and definitely probably going to be a higher score. But we are kind of rotating backwards where we're not seeing so much flare. And right here too, not sticking with the outside zone 1 too long. And not too much of a flare and flick at the transition. And it seems like they're trying to go deeper on outside zone 3. And I don't know, maybe some people might think that that's probably the way they're trying to get more of a higher score.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, maybe they have that wrong.
So we'll see. 88 was his first qualified score. 89. So just like Suenaga and Hayashi are just on the same path. They both got an 88 for their initial score. Now they both got 89s for their second.
Angle score right there, because I mean he was running, you know, definitely a high amount of angle. It's just that, I guess, it goes hand in hand almost, the angle and the style part, where there's, you know, the higher rate of, you know, how speedy you can go from one side to the other. But
here we are coming up next. Coming out of the chicane is number 770, Yusuke Kusaba, and his Team Cusco Racing A90 Super. Look at this coming in right here. Just got an engine swap done to this vehicle not even a few hours ago. Oh, dipping a little bit of tires out right there, coming to this transition point. I think he only had like 2 practice runs after they did the engine swap. And here he is trying to show out, getting 3rd place last round at Okuibuki, wanting to go ahead and progress further into the points running for the top 3. So yeah, definitely
yeah, so that was a lot of adjustments he had to do at the outside zone. I think it was that might have been on the line on the third
for that 3rd tire. But yeah, very impressive by Team Cusco out there. Hands down to them, hands down to his team for getting that engine swap done. Like I said, they started and they only had a few hours to knock it out. So good job by them. Way to get that car back out here, get it tuned and ready to go.
All right, so I think that he did not have 3 tires off, but he was like on the line for the 3rd tire. So Yeah, he barely made it, so that was safe. He is going to get a score there, but
there you go,
yeah,
77.
But Kusaba definitely is sitting on a lower score for his first run.
Yeah, 77 is not in the safe zone. I was saying before, if you weren't tuning in before, his team did a full-on engine swap with their Cusco 8.6 to make him perform here, and this is a lot of pressure on him because his team put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this swap. So let's see how he's going to perform here on the second half of the track right here, coming into outer zone 3, carrying on, able to hold on, coming into inside clip 1 right there. Let's see if that run right there is good enough to put him into the 80s. At least into the mid-80s, because right now we're not quite sure where the safe zone is. But yeah, like I said, this morning they started the engine swap, and, you know, surprisingly, look at him. The car's performing pretty amazing. So his team did their trick, so all the pressure's on him to perform and make this car do its thing.
Then, you know, that's what everybody else wants to see too.
85, so mid-80s is where he needed to be. Stay in the top 32. Next up at the line you see is going to be number 36, Kazumi Takahashi and his TMS Racing Team Cylon Tire JZX1, or not JZX100, sorry, BMW. I said JZX100 because that's what he had last round, a JZX100 Mark II, same color scheme and everything, but he's back in his Eurofighter BMW, powered by a 1GR twin turbo. The color scheme threw me away, threw me off, and, you know, the reflection.
Yeah. Interesting build because, I mean, it's a BMW with a Toyota motor in it.
And it's not nice a 2J too, so here he is coming into outer zone 1. He's been doing a phenomenal job in this car. He tried to change it up in the JZX100, but he realized that this is where he's at. He podiumed before in it, and, you know, he knows this vehicle pretty well. So here he is finishing off his first qualifying run, giving us a smoke show and not letting go.
All right, so there was a couple of areas where he was wavering, but I would have to say very exciting run. I like the flick right here, like right here. Look at that deep angle to deep angle. That is very nice. And right back on throttle. Smoke trail, just keep going. I like the way that the car goes all the way to angle and just kind of, he settles it and keeps it there.
Yeah, he holds it the whole way,
yeah. There's no, you know,
hesitations or anything crazy, yeah. Like I said, he really understands his car. Kind of threw me off whenever he bought the JZX100 out. I was like, what's going on? And he's just like, just changing it up. He already had it built. He had his team build it. He wanted to see what he could do, and, you know, he realized that the BMW handled a lot better for him.
Ooh, another 90.
Boom. Scored a 90 in his first initial run in his BMW. Kazumi Takahashi, TMS Racing, Team Cylon Tire, was in a JZX100 prior to, but he came back to his Eurofighter, and let's see how he's going to perform, see what he's going to do to make the flare and make his 90 score go higher. And here he is right here. This is one of the threats for Tamagawa and his 93-point score, but looks like he was a little shallow in that outer zone right there. But look at that. Coming into outer zone 3 right here. Woo!
Man.
Throwing angle and smoke the whole way to the finish.
Man, you know what? I mean, I wish he tidied up
that jump, the start.
The line. Outside zone 2, he was a little shallow on line. Outside zone 1, he didn't fill the zone as well. But just looking at it as a style judge point of view, it was a very nice flare. And right there, carries good amount of angle to do the transition.
Look at that, throttle all the way through to the finish. So once again, he got a 90 on his initial qualifying run.
So look at that high angle score. High angle score. Like I said, if he could tidy up the lines.
Cylon Tire JZX90 Mark II. We talked about it a little bit during the intro and everything. He's, this car he knows pretty dang well. I mean, he had a JZX 100 he competed with the first round, and he had some mechanical issues going on, and
looks like he has a GP on it.
Yeah. And here he is bringing this back out while he's waiting to get the other car fixed, and here he is coming into Outer Zone 1. This car was actually shipped to the States last year because he was supposed to compete, but due to COVID, he was unable to get out there, and here he is. Getting a nice run. Outer Zone 3 probably could have been a little deeper, but there he is. Finishing strong right there at the end. But yeah, this was a... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yes, he was supposed to compete in the States last year. COVID kind of stopped that. His car ended up getting shipped there, pretty much stored there for the year. Brought back, and then it was kind of like timing was almost perfect because his other car kind of took a beating, and he had to go ahead and activate this one back up.
Yeah, so like right now, too, now we're kind of going back to the other runs that we had that were the mediocre runs coming through the touch and go out to the outside zone, too, because the amount of angle that's kicked through this area, I mean, it's a lot more than normal, but it's...
There you go, 84 for the next driver is ready to go, number 90, Shinji Minowa in the Heyman TM Labo Cylone Tire JZX 90. And that livery says it all right there. So he got an 84 on his qualify run. He's actually, he took Okuibuki for his victory. And let's see how he's going to perform here and see if he can get into the 90s with his second qualify run. Coming into Outer Zone 1. We need some flair right here. There you go. Coming back around, swinging it around into this wall right here. Outer Zone 3. Let's see some throttle right here to finish us off into that inside clip. There you go. Nice job by Shinji Minowa on that run. Definitely higher than an 84 score right here. And here it is, the replay. Watch him ride this line on the outer zone. Beautiful
look at
job.
This. Throttle all the way. Throttle all the way.
Still
nice
throttling.
flick.
Yeah.
Nice flick right here. Look at this. Throttle all the way. Throttle all the way. Throttle all the way around here. All I'm saying is the same
throttle,
thing.
Throttle, throttle.
Throttle, throttle, and good angle throughout. Now, it doesn't look as fast as the cars that are going straighter, but like I said, this is a drifting competition, and I would appreciate to see cars with a lot of angle.
Yes, getting
and a lot of throttle. Not, let's just go and drag race.
Bam, 92
points.
So back-to-back 92 points, so the pressure's on. Good high-quality ones, turn it up. But here you go, you got number 4, Tetsuya Hibino, and his four-rotor Liberty Walk S15. Sorry, four-rotor twin turbo at that. So extreme power, extreme angle he likes to throw, and he did an amazing job last round, got second place. But let's see what he's going to do here. Shooting flames already in this bright daylight, but look at that dynamic of that smoke trail coming into this transition. And I went ahead, let him do the talking for me. Beautiful job, beautiful sounding car. Amazing build.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna.
That was exciting run, but it did seem a little. The flick was really nice at the entry, and he was on throttle most of the way. But right around this area was very. I think he came a little too short after outside zone 2, so there was kind of like a beeline that he had to take.
Solid looking. There you go. 87 for his first run. He loves being in the 90s. He's been in the 90s majority of the time for most of his qualifying runs. But yes, beautiful car, and beautiful to bring it back out like it was brought back at the first event is amazing. Qualifying for top 32. And here it is, a man that likes to steal people's dreams and lead scores.
Dream snatcher.
Yeah, and he's in a dream car here, 4-rotor twin turbo, Liberty Walk, awesome kit. Look at this car right here, S15 screaming around. Tetsuya Hibino coming in, outer zone 1. Look at that, woo! Dipping a tire, but still, let's see what he's gonna do here. I wish you all can hear this because my chest is rumbling every time that thing kicks. I love how the sun went down so you can really see this engine perform. But here he is. Let's see this replay. Hard flick right there. Initiating, coming into outer zone 1. Right there on the line. Hard flick right there to outer zone 2. Just ripping. That car sounds insane. So much to make Robbie silent. There you go, 90.
Tamagawa's still safe.
Yeah, Tamagawa's safe, but you know what? We have our number 1, or our points leader, number 1 of the series right now at 314.
I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I don't know. It's like this area where it's really hard. Oh, let's go ahead and watch this one first.
Here we go. Our points leader, Koichi Yamashita, sitting at 314. Coming up, he has a nice cushion for the lead right now. Let's see how he's gonna do for his first qualifying run. Nice flick. Left a little early on that transition right there, but let's see how he's gonna do for the rest of the track on this second half. Showing the commitment that he has. And yeah, once again, nice job. Nice driving. Let's see this replay. Looks like the touch and go. He kind of left a little early on that touch and go, but
no, I mean everybody's been doing that because what's happening is they're leaving the outside zone 1 early, right there, right? Doesn't go all the way, doesn't even go to touch and go. Fills outside zone 2 because they have the speed going through there.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is they need to slow the cars down so there's more angle. They should go a little deeper on outside zone 1, get more closer to the touch and go, throw more angle at touch and go, utilize that angle to slow the car down. So, I mean.
So definitely, hopefully these spotters are seeing the same thing that Robbie's seeing, because that's the big thing. That's affecting the scores right now on what they're putting out there. So hopefully they'll see that. There you go. You got a 90. Still a good score. Still had a lot of good dynamic, good flair, but definitely has room to improve in that center section that you said was going to be important.
Yeah, so he already gets a 90 driving the way he does because he does a fairly good job with the angle and on line. So if he can give us that flair, I mean, that's like the extra cake on top that's going to probably take us to the top spot. So this is our last qualifier today for the FP Japan Okayama round 5.
45 drivers, we need 32 of them. Here's our last driver of the day, Koichi Yamashita, our points lead. The champ is coming in right here. Look at that. Woo! Carrying it through that touch and go. Wasn't quite all the way in outer zone 2 right there. He kind of got the latter end of outer zone 2. But look at that finish right there. Throttle, 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 like we were just talking about.
Yeah, this run was very similar to Hibino's run right now. Yeah.
It definitely had some cool factors to it, but some of the zones weren't quite 100% accomplished. But right there, outer zone 1 was very nice. But right there, he kind of missed outer zone 2, that first portion of it. And that's the thing, a lot of these drivers, they sacrifice a little bit to gain a lot, and that's what he was trying to do. So we'll see if that's going to be enough to sustain his 90 or gain a few more points. 93!
So there you go.